Hello, Magdalena here, Wolf of Coins. So I've been watching some of other people's videos about tarot shelves, and I realized that people are so well organized while I am just all over the place. So this shelf, this is a real tarot shelf because it's full of tarot and oracles. It's a new thing in my life, relatively new. So I will just show you how messy I am, and I hope you will enjoy it. And once I show you my space, then I will pull them out to present them so you can appreciate them. So yeah, this is my shelf. Excuse me. I've been I've been ill for quite a while now. So these are the decks that I use the most at the moment, so I keep them handy. So yeah, here I mostly keep oracle decks, but not only, as you can see. There are more behind it in a messy manner. There's a lot of yarn. Here are my books that are about tarot, crystals, paganism, my journals, whatnot. And there's another layer there. There is some tarot here and candles. This is, yeah, there are some crystals here as well. Yeah, I keep crystals in egg containers, very handy. And some other boxes as well. So this is my real tarot shelf. This is where the most of my collection is, and it looks like a mess, but believe me, I actually know where what is. So there are like two rows, and behind in the deeper row there are decks that I use less often, and here that I use in front there are ones that I use more often, but it's not a rule because it all changes, right? So yeah, now you've seen the mess. Okay, so now let's put some reason to my madness. I hope from now on things will be a bit neater, because actually I have a notebook where yeah, it's cute, where I have all the I have lists of my decks in categories. So according to those categories, I will now be presenting those decks to you. I'm starting with Rider-Waite-Smith inspired decks. Only one thing, there's one deck that I won't be showing you because it's in my parents' house in Poland. I keep it there just in case I don't have any deck on me while I'm there and I need it desperately. So it's there. But yeah, this is Shadowscapes Tarot with this beautiful gold gilding here. It's the Czech edition by Synergy, and I've been showing this a little bit on my channel. So this is Shadowscapes. Then the same publisher, Synergy, Steampunk Tarot with copper edging. And yeah, if you've watched some of my previous videos, you might have heard that I was missing a card. I had a double Three of Pentacles and no Five of Swords, but the store was so amazing. They reacted like a lightning, really so fast. So I have full deck now, and it's so gorgeous. Oh yeah. Still, I don't get the queen on the horse. It just confuses me. Next up, so yeah, so this first category are, did I say it? Are Rider-Waite-Smith inspired decks. I hope I said it. Well, anyway. Oh yeah, this is a bag that I made. I had this phase of producing, of sewing tarot bags for my decks. I love it. Now I'm totally not in sewing in a sewing phase, so And I still had some plans for other decks. But yeah, this is the Danilov Tarot. I think it's one of the older versions. The backs in the newer version are different. And yes, you guys, I rounded the corners. The barbarian in me. Oh, just a moment. I need to shut the door because my washing machine is very loud. Okay, hopefully now it will be better. So these are the cards. I love this Queen of Cups. Yeah. So this is the Danilov Tarot. Next up, what do we have here? Tarot of the Magical Forest. And it's so tiny because I trimmed it. Little white book. I actually like this little white book. They have, it's just a little white book, but yeah, I like how they wrote it. So this is my deck. This is how it looks like trimmed. And it is Rider-Waite-Smith, but it actually has much less detail so than the original. So if you're, I love this card, it's so awesome. If you're bothered, distracted by too many details, this might be a good deck for you. It has just the essentials, really. So yeah, this is it. But I'm not using this deck too much these days, actually. Next up, one of my oldest decks. I think it was my third deck ever. And after I restarted with tarot, it was my second deck. After the Universal. And yeah, before I could, before I had the sewing machine, I tried to match the bags that I bought with the deck. So yeah, it's a cat. It's also trimmed. I did not have a corner rounder back then, so what I did was really insane. I took my old ID card, I would put it on the card and cut around it to make the corners round. Yeah, I was that insane. Oh, they are all upside down. This is a really fun death card. Treasure. So this is Tarot of White Cats. What else? Well, this is... I also made this bag. This is not strictly Rider-Waite-Smith, but it's definitely inspired. Especially in the minors. They have different images, but the keywords and the meanings are really similar to Rider-Waite, I'd say. So it's the Wildwood Tarot. And fittingly, I put hedgehogs on it. And it's the same, the lining inside, it's the same as the Danilov Tarot bag. Ooh, and I edged it in dark green. So yeah, I guess many of you know this deck. So that's it. I don't really love the cardstock. I don't know. It's just meh. I do not really like shuffling them, and they are a bit bent in one direction. Maybe that's why. So this deck, I did not know really into which category to put it. It's actually a deck that I never use. This is Majors Only Tarocchi Romantici by Giorgio Trevisan. And I knew this name. I know he's probably more famous than his daughter is in Italy, but I knew his daughter's work, which is Crystal Tarot, and I was so in love. Then I saw that he also did a tarot deck. But yeah, I bought it on eBay used and was a bit disappointed by the quality, because it's a really cheap cardstock. So I don't know, I don't really feel like using it, but the images, yeah, they are gorgeous, but they stick to each other. I had to, also the condition in which it was a bit meh. I had to wipe every card so it wouldn't be too sticky, you know. So it just, if I could, I would trade it, but I don't know if somebody's interested in it. It just, I never use it. Although I love this Pissed Off Empress. I have a thing for Pissed Off Empresses. So yeah, this is Justice. Cute little emperor. Yeah, I love the images, but the cardstock, it just makes me not want to use it, and also disappointment because it was so sticky when I got it. So yeah. Go back, and I have, it's a new thing. I have another Majors Only deck, and I have already used it. I just did an unboxing of this. It's Moon Crystal Tarot, Sailor Moon and Rider-Waite-Smith inspired deck. And yeah, I just did an unboxing of it, but yeah, I'm not too happy with the cardstock either. I feel it's, well, it's much better than this one, but still, it just makes me worried that the cards will start chipping really soon. I don't know. But yeah, it's so happy. Such a happy day. Well, except for the devil, but yeah, Sailor Moon, even though it's seen as a show for kids, it can be so creepy and scary, believe me. I love it. So yeah, these are my Rider-Waite-Smith inspired decks. Let's move on to another category. Oh yeah, if you haven't noticed, I do not own a Rider-Waite-Smith deck. The closest thing to it that I have is the Universal Tarot that is away, so I cannot show it to you. So now, pip decks that are not Marseille style or historical decks. Well, this should be probably category in its own, but I only have one from it. So yeah, if you know this symbol, you'll probably expect what's inside. It's the Thoth Tarot. I actually love the Thoth Tarot. I just think it's not the time yet for me to start with it, because it's a whole different system. I've read a bit with it, but oops. I think it's gorgeous. I really do. So, and it's also all over the place. Because sometimes when I shuffle, because I don't read reversals, so I just put it on my bed and I mix it on the bed. It's very, very fast this way. But yeah, you probably know this deck. It's the edition by AGM Müller, printed in Belgium. So yeah, I have me my Thoth, and one day I will dive into it because I think it's worth it. So I also matched the bag. Next up, oh, I think these are my 3 favorite bags ever. These 2 are by Baba Studio, and these are the only things that I own by Baba Studio. the bags. So where do I start? This deck, I've been showing it around, and this is with Arthur Rackham's Ondine on it. Love it. And yeah, this is my first deck ever, edged in gold by me. It's a pip deck. It was my first ever deck. And yeah, this is how it looks like. The court cards are just insane in this deck. It's very cute. It's called a Polish Tarot by Aleksandra Jaśniak, and it has those eagles here, like on Polish coins, which is very, very nice. Yeah. So yeah, you've seen this deck on my channel many, many times by now, I guess, because there are always questions about what was your first deck, and I always show this, because what else can I show you? And then there is the deck that I already mentioned. It's Crystal Tarot by Elisabetta Trevisan. And it's teeny tiny. Also, I have different backs than many people have because it's an older edition. So yeah, it's just pure gorgeousness. Look at this moon card. I think this image is on the backs on the newer edition. And lastly, China Tarot, the bag that I've sewn myself. So proud of it. It was not too easy because this fabric it's a bit harder to work with than your regular cotton. Yeah, it's China Tarot with the artwork by Jen. And yeah, this is how it looks like. There are pins instead of wands, even though it says wands. But yeah, this is the deck. It's actually really gorgeous, and I'm thinking about trimming it, but these little guys piss me off because when I trim it, they will still be visible. But maybe I will be able not to mind. I'm still thinking about it. Look at the stars on the ribbon. So yeah, let's move on to the next category. So this category is about decks that are not pip decks, but they are not Rider-Waite-Smith either. They have their own thing, or yeah. Just let us see. This is the Tarot of the 1001 Nights, and it's gorgeous, but not. At least for me, not too easy to read with. So I don't use it that often, but I love the images. They are awesome. These are the backs. And I think it would look wonderful trimmed too. These are just, yeah, these are images taken from books. The 1001 Night books. These are illustrations, and they are really gorgeous. So yeah, that's it. Oh, go back to your box. Come on. All right. Then there's the beautiful, beautiful Fairy Lights Tarot. And it's also, I realize I have a thing for Italian artists. They are just, well, they really hit some note in my heart, I would say. So, yeah. The pigs. They are just simply good. So, yeah. gorgeous Fairy Lights Tarot. And then there's the Yolanda Tarot, also known as Swedish Witch Tarot, I think. And it's also teeny tiny because it had huge borders. And I trimmed it. This is the deck that I do not use too often. It's actually a deck for like special deep readings. But these days more often I use, for those deep rare readings, I use the Mary L Tarot. But still, yeah, it's such a strange deck, but it gave me so many interesting answers. And there's this lady here. What is cool, I did not have to trim the lady when I trimmed the borders. It's nice. And then this one is pretty famous. And yeah, the bag is matching. So it's the Nicoletta Ceccoli Tarot. And it has such matching borders, such delicate, that I don't think trimming would really improve it. It looks so classy on it. I think I've seen a magazine with this image on it when I was still living in Poland, and I think it made me buy this magazine instantly. So yeah, this is Ceccoli Tarot. Then, oh, this is an ancient bag that I've sewn when I still did not have the sewing machine, and I had to do it all by hand. So it's only one layer, and I crocheted this cord. But yeah, this is my Initiatory Tarot of the Golden Dawn. So yeah, there's this cross here that looks familiar, but yeah, oh, again, everything upside down. So when I pull the cards with this deck, is so easy. Before I turn the card, I just see it's upside down. It's upside down. So I just do this, and then I see what's there. It's actually so pretty. It's very comic book style, and it has the weirdest imagery sometimes. So I use it, often I use it for interpreting dreams, just like with the Fairy Lights Tarot as well. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, this edition, it's interesting. They brag that you can pick whether strength is 8 or 11. Same goes for justice. But what they did, so you get 2 additional cards with different numbering. But look at that. It's strength, it's 11, and it still says justice. So map. That's a fail. But yeah, I bought this deck. I did not use it for quite a while because it was so strange, and then recently, for really untangible problems, it's been working very well for me. And finally, this I haven't sewn this bag. I bought it on Etsy, but yeah, it's very pretty. Very pretty, and it's a home for Mary L. I do not think it really matches the deck, but before I trimmed the deck, it was the only bag that would fit the size of the cards, you know, so it just stayed like that. And I edged it with a Sharpie in black. So yeah, Mary L for you. I usually read this deck without the book because somehow the book really confuses me. This is my favorite card. But this deck really works well for me just as intuitive read. It really does. This is so beautiful. Oh, there are many. I have many favorite cards here, actually. But the King of Wands is just, it's my fave. So now let's move on to the biggest category. The biggest category would be historical decks or historical decks inspired decks, mostly Tarot de Marseille. And where do I start? Oh my goodness. Will I try historically or... Oh, let's just go with it. This is my favorite. Yeah, it's so pretty. No space. So this deck is this deck. So Tarot de Marseille Robledo by Pablo Robledo. It's gorgeous. And I added it in antique linen. It matches so perfectly. And yeah, I mentioned this deck many times before, but I love it. And I really like using it. So yeah, it really is a good size deck. And the cardstock, I'm in love with this cardstock. It's perfect. It's really perfect. My another favorite Tarot de Marseille is my first that I used Tarot de Marseille. There was one by Fournier, but I traded it actually some years ago. So this is Jodorowsky Come One. Yeah, I love it. It feels like home because I worked with it so much when I was first starting with Tarot de Marseille. And the Empress, she's, where is it? Where is she? So she actually has green eyes. It's on purpose in this deck and it just looks so pretty. Oh, where is she? Oh, here. Look at her eyes. They are so green. Beautiful. And this is a matching bag. Neat, isn't it? So yeah, this is a deck that travels with me the most. I also have a backup copy of this deck, so I'm not worried to, you know, lose it or something. But yeah, we've been fine. And next up, what do I show you? Oh, maybe we'll do All de Marseille. So this is Edition Millennium by Wilfried Audouin. And yeah, I also did a review of this deck, so if you're interested, you can check it out. It's on the in two playlists, I suppose. It's in the Tarot de Marseille and deck reviews. But in short, the author of this deck claims he has restored the proper proportions and angles for the cards. Let me present you the Moon card. He believes that many images got trimmed in the process of being, you know, published. So he believes that, for example, the Moon should look like this. And let me show you, just for a quick comparison, from another deck that is a restoration. If I only manage to find it quickly for you, how the Moon looks like in the version just how do you call it? Not restored, but drawn. Well, it is a restoration, but anyway. You see, it's just somehow cut here. And here you have like this full halo. Anyway, it's very pretty, but it doesn't have my favorite cardstock. It's pretty thick. It's a good cardstock, but it's not so much fun to shuffle like the Robledo or or other that I own. But yeah, it's still a gem. I'm impatiently waiting for the book by this author to be finally translated and published to English. Wilfried said it will be next year. We will see. Still a year to wait. Next up, this is actually a deck that is being kept in Zurich, so really close to where I live. I live in a little town near Zurich in Switzerland, but yeah, it's not on display, so you cannot really see it. So it's Pierre Madeny 1709, and it's one of the prettiest Tarot de Marseille ever. Oh yeah, the moon. See, it's not the full halo around. But the faces, they are, in my opinion, they are unrivaled. Really. They are so subtle. I love them. I love them. And yeah, it has those pointy, historically accurate corners. I really like these boxes. They're cool. Then another Tarot de Marseille. This is again a bag that I've sewn myself. It has hearts, and it's the tiny Noble restoration by Fleur Noir. Oh, these corners, this is just insanity. I tried using really fine sanding paper to make them finally break in and not be drawing blood, but they are so. This deck is among Tarot de Marseille and enthusiasts. It's known for its bloodthirstiness, but yeah, it's a gorgeous restoration. In the Pissed Off Empress, my favorite card in this deck. Yes! The size is really small, but as you can see, the cardstock is pretty thick, so it's a handful. And it's a great deck for study as well. Then another one by Fleur Noir. The bag has nothing to do what's inside it. I just like the bag. It's for a different deck. I don't remember what it's called, but I just like the bag. So this one is much bigger. It's again by Fleur Noir, Jean Dodal, and it's a wonderful deck, really. And it has rounded corners, so yay! It's just sometimes I feel it's too big for me. See my hands? It's a bit too much to handle, but it's an excellent deck. It's very Picasso-like, if you will. There's a birdie that Pablo Robledo took for his deck. I don't know if I can find it. Oh, I can, look. There's the birdie. So he got inspired by Dodal. And the cardstock here is also great. I like it a lot. It's not too thick. It doesn't draw your blood. It's awesome. It's just very, very big. Then what do I show you? Somebody called me, excuse me. And I just lost my train of thoughts, but I think I was just about to show you this deck. It's also a bag that I've sewn. But yeah, then I changed to a different model, like just drawstring. But yeah, this is Trionfi della Luna by Patrick Valenza, and it's such an awesome deck. This is just pure gorgeousness. She's so awesome. I love it. It's, yeah, I can't really stand the Deviant Moon deck. It's just too creepy for me, and this is the perfect level of creepiness for me. I love this aesthetics. It just, yeah, and it has so many clever details like this one. So yeah, so I really love it, and I'm just, of Deviant Moon, I'm just scared. So I am not interested in it, but this one, I just had to have it. It's just awesome. It's just awesome. So funny and clever. So yeah, this is my Trionfi, and it's the Italian edition. I mean, with Italian edition, with the Italian titles. So now that we're in the Italian region of the woods, let's go with my other historical decks. Or just quickly, this is not Italian, it's it's a deck restoration by Sullivan Hismans. And this bag totally doesn't fit this deck, but yeah, I need to think about something else. Yeah, it's tiny. I also did a review of this deck. These are the bags, they're irregular, and it's just gorgeous. It is, and it's black and white. It's a restoration, as I said. And it's, I think, the most expensive deck ever. Also because I had to pay the tax. I did not think back then that I could have ordered this to my parents' place in Poland and I wouldn't have to pay this tax. But hey, too late. So yeah, this is the tiny thing. And now I have huge things to show you. This is really huge. This is the Cariale Visconti by US Games with cards recreated, the missing cards recreated by Luigi Scapini. And I will just say it. I will just say it once. I am not a fan of his artwork. I'm just not. But yeah, these cards, you guys, they're massive. And the price for the deck is really inviting. So if only for studying purposes, for comparisons, and for having a deck with female knights and male knights and female pages and male pages, I think it's worth it. Of course, the edition by In Meneghello is so much prettier, so like the colors are so much better. And there's no Luigi Scapini there, but yeah. Anyway, I still love it. I don't read with it. It's just for my studies, for comparing, and for showing it on the videos to explain some historical things. I've used it multiple times now, I think. Then with this deck, I actually do read from time to time. And I love this bag. I made it myself. See, this is the fabric from the Noble deck. And this is a full restoration of another Visconti Sforza deck. It's not the same as this one. It's the Cariale. This is Visconti Sforza restoration, so-called Golden Tarot. And yeah, I much prefer the artist that made this artwork. I don't think it's as pretty as the original, but it looks good. what I like about it, it's a full restoration, so so you can try and imagine how it looked for people back in the 15th century, which is a cool thing, I'd say. So yeah, these cards are also ginormous, but not as big as those. These are just massive. And lastly, I have these two guys, and I was thinking about doing a side-by-side comparison of these, but I just today I saw that Simon Two Spirit just made his video of it, so I don't think there is a need for another one. I also made this bag. So this is the Ancient Italian Tarot. There are editions with various bags. These are these are my bags. I think I preferred the I would prefer the two-colored one. This is just too much for me, but still, it was an inexpensive deck, and it's so pretty. It's gorgeous. I love it. So these two, and this is my only deck by In Meneghello. It's the Sopraffino Tarot, and these two are very similar. I mean, the images, but there is, yeah, can you hear that? So this is not laminated cardstock, plus there is so much less facial hair here. You wouldn't believe it. And yeah, this aged look of the cards, and they are small, so very practical actually. Some cards are very similar. Oh, I cannot really. Oh, I have two popes. I can show you two popes. So yeah, it's a very similar image. It's not the same, and the quality is better here, of course. Some of the details on the Queen's outfits are different. Some other cards. Oh, this is so beautiful. So yeah, this is how they look like. See, much more facial hair. Oh, we could maybe compare queens quickly. I had the Queen somewhere. She must be somewhere. Ooh, please. Where did I put her? She got lost. I believe also the Ace of Coins is different. Oh well. So yeah, these are my basically all of my tarot decks. I hope you've enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. I'm thinking about doing also my oracle shelf. It will be much shorter. I think I will put it together with my Lenormand decks. But for now, thank you so much again, and see you later. Bye!